going to show you how to turn on and, if necessary, adjust the radio in Golf Charlie Golf Alpha Foxtrot, Golf Alpha Foxtrot for short. And when you come to it, hopefully it's been left with the batteries unconnected. And so to put the electrics on, we put these switches up. So first one activates the flam, then the comms, which is the radio, and then the vario. And you can see straight away the flam is coming to life, and we've also got signs of life in the radio. So at the moment you've got the word ACT 119.000. So that's the active frequency. So if we were to press the to transmit button on the radio, on the stick, we would be transmitting on 119.000. The standby frequency, the one that we think we might want to use next, is our own frequency, 123.815. If we want that to become the active frequency, we look for this flip-flop switch. It's got an arrow up and an arrow down. When I press that, they reverse positions. So the active one is now ours, 123.815, and the standby frequency is 119.000. So when you're flying longer distances and you're needing to tune into different places, when you've got a few moments spare, when you're not too busy, you might be setting up the next frequency as the standby frequency. And then when you need it, all you've got to do is to press that flip-flop switch. Other adjustments that you've got that you might want to use are the volume setting. And you'll just have to choose a volume that suits you so that you can hear it in the phase of flight that you're in at the time. Sometimes it's good to have it maybe turned up in the circuit so you can hear things, but turned down a bit when you're away from other aircraft. The volume, you can't tell what it is unless you ask for a readability check. So you could call Rufforth Base and ask for a radio check, and they should give you an indication of your readability on the scale of 1 to 5. But while they're doing that, you'll be listening and deciding, oh, that doesn't sound very loud, I'll turn the volume up. So check the volume setting to suit you by asking someone else for a radio check, and when they're talking, you can adjust the volume to suit. If you wanted to change that standby frequency, let's say we wanted the frequency to be the frequency of Leeds East Airport, which is Fenton Radio. Their frequency is 120.710. 120.710. So what we do is we press this arrow here, the button beneath that arrow, and that underlines the 119, the 119 megahertz. And if at that point we turn this knob, I've just turned it one click and I've got 120. If I press the arrow again, it enables me to set the digit that's just after the decimal point, and I wanted that to be 7. So I can go up to 7, or I could go down to 7, and then press it again, and it underlines the last 2 digits. If I want that to be 710, so I want it to say 10, I just do a couple of clicks and it says 10. And that frequency is now set, but it's not active. If I want it to be active, I press the flip-flop switch. Now this particular radio has some memories, but I don't want you to mess with the memories until you've taken some further advice on how they work. In this one, the memory locations are not labelled with particular airfields, so it'll just say memory 1, memory 2, memory 3, memory 4, and you kind of got to remember what they are. On some radios you can set it so it'll actually say Rufforth East, Fenton Radio, Leeming Zone, or whatever the station is that you're corresponding to with that frequency. So that is as much as you need to know about setting the radio. When you're ready to switch everything off, you can switch that radio off using the on-off switch there. Let me just demonstrate that. If I press that button, I need to press it for a few seconds. Power off in 3 seconds, so you keep holding it until it goes off. If you've got the battery on and it's not on, you're going to need to press that to bring it on again. But it is perfectly satisfactory. It is satisfactory in this aircraft to switch off the radio using the master switches over on the left here. So you just set them to the off position. These switches have 2 positions because one is the primary battery and the next one is the, if you like, the reserve battery or the other battery. So if the flam starts to go out, then you can flick to the other battery towards the end of the day. Hope that makes some sort of sense.